Welcome back, racing fans, after a lag out from in the race, and also my mic lagging as well.
You're good to join, drivers or owners.
We're back. Me and BLM Trump here, ready to broadcast this race again between the E-Nascar Elite Series and the 3-Wide Racing League.
We'll be doing about 3 pace laps.
And they will be doing about 3 pace laps to get guys back in order and all that stuff of their, from where they qualified at. But BLM, again, I'm ready for a very good race. I'm very excited. Again, it's been a very long week, but we are nearing the end of the first round, and we've had some very good matchups so far, and hopefully we kind of can end this round out on a bang. I believe we still have a couple more tomorrow. I believe this is race 17 of 19. I'm not completely sure on that one, but I know we're near the end.
Yeah, I believe there's should be about one more race coming up. There's 2 tonight. We have ours, and then we have a race immediately following us at 10 Eastern time. The thing that I'm most excited about is we got to watch just a little bit of the practice here as they went out for the one attempt to pick up the 11 car. So I'm very curious to see. As you could tell, the ENEA guys were very strong. They held the first top 3 positions. So what did the 3 wide guys find that maybe they didn't find in practice? Like I said, it's a very big difference between racing in a 10-car lobby versus racing in a 20-car lobby. I know there's a lot of people that are that might be on this stream going, no, there's not that much of a difference, but I can promise you the level of competition, the level of speed picks up. The draft pool is just a little bit different in a bigger lobby. You have more turbulence in your car. The speeds pick up. You can kind of tell with you racing by yourself or racing with the guys that you're so used to racing with. There might be a guy that's faster than you. We watched last night that the 51 car drove away with the field, and the guys that trailed him were able to get a better draft and a better tow at Atlanta than they would get with their team otherwise. So we watched a guy that pulled out, and the guy that ran second behind him had the fastest lap of the race. So we'll see here if the 3 wide guys get a bigger tow off of the ENEA guys. Kentucky's a very big draft track. I know 1.5 miles typically are in this game. The package kind of favors the draft, but we'll see who can get up there and actually race with them. Yeah.
So here we go. We just got reported that we're about to go green this time around. So here we go. A lot of laps here at Kentucky, 3 stages. So rolling back around your pace car, about to pull off here.
I see that the teammates are working together. The 17 of Knockout is the second place driver. The 24 of Shotgun is the pole sitter, and he elected to take the top to give the bottom down. So
interesting.
We'll see how that works as they come through the Geico restart zone. Green flags in the air here at Kentucky. The 24 is going to pull. Let's see if the 17 lets him down to get the bottom.
Here we go. The 24. Pulling out in front here of the 17, kind of look like a teammate restart right there. Here they come through turns 1 and 2. The 24 in front, 17 behind, 22 in third, 88 fourth, and I believe that's the 4 car sitting there in 5th.
Yeah, I would say the biggest takeaways of this is we watched the other leagues who are sitting 1 through 3 in points. They have stayed together. They got in a line. They played strategies for perfection. They got all of their cars in a line around the track, and they did not let anybody else pass in the draft. So we'll see what ENEA does tonight, as right now they currently hold the top 5 positions. We'll see if they can stay up there and get max points today and try to get that first round by as we inch closer to the end of the first round. It's going to be very interesting to see what the other guys do. They're sitting in the back. The 24 touches the wall just a little bit going into 1. We'll see how this affects his car going on, as he might have just a tad bit of damage here.
Yeah, again, and like how we were saying, I guess on the last attempt we had to kind of get this race going, is that the main, or there's always some type of factor in the race that can really mess things up, and that factor here at Kentucky is going to be turn 2. When those tires start to wear, coming at turn 2, your car really just kind of takes a sudden dip at a really sharp angle towards the inside. It's really just the way the game is. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys adjust, how they adjust their cars to accommodate for that turn 2 little, I guess not problem, but just a roadblock for them to try to get over.
Yeah, you also have to be very careful down the front straightaway. If you go below that yellow line just a tad bit more than most and you go towards the grass, there's a little bump down there. And that bump is very aggressive to these cars. It'll shoot them up. As we watched in the actual NASCAR race with Ryan Blaney, he dove down there on a four wide battle and he hit that bump and it shot him into Kevin Harvick, which allowed Cole Custer to go get his first win in his rookie season here. But as you dive down into turn one, you have to watch out. As you can see on the stream, you see that little bit of a black mark right above the yellow line.
Yep.
If you put two wheels down there, that's really going to upset the car and hurt it in the center and the exit of turn two, which gives it the bite to try to break loose. As the 17 breaks to the lead, he comes into 3. He shoots under the 24. 24 gives him no contest. New leader, 17 of knockout. As they come down here, they have completed lap 8 of 39 in the first stage.
Yeah, in turns 1 and 2, the apron isn't really the apron, as that yellow line sits just below where you actually get to that banking change, which it can be really tricky. 3 and 4 isn't too much of a problem. The apron actually is the apron there. I will say at NASCAR Heat 5, the turn 3 and 4 apron does kind of upset the car a little bit more than it did in Heat 4. I remember in Heat 4 you could really dive bomb below that yellow line and make it stick, but in races that I've done myself, turn 3 and 4, it can really make a car a little bit loose, more than it did in Heat 4. So we'll keep an eye on that one again, seeing how guys kind of adjust. This is really a funky track on this game. It's really one interesting animal to kind of tame here, as it looks like we really just got 3 guys out right now just kind of scooting away from everybody. So this is definitely a interesting watch right here, as we see these top 3 guys just kind of scooting away.
Yeah, I was listening to the in-car audio of the 24 of Shotgun, and he made a very interesting thing here. The 17 got under him, and he just said take it. He backed off the gas, and the 22 backed off enough to let him into the position, which is very interesting to see that they are working as a team here. They hold the top 3 positions, and they have clearly checked out. The next closest guy to them from second is Unveiled Desert. He is a part of the 3-wide racing, and he's 1.7 seconds back. You have Rutgers at 2 seconds now. Currently, as the exit at 2, he's sitting back 2 seconds back. So they've definitely got something going of getting in a line, and I'm very curious on the restart. How are they going to get the 4 car involved, or how are they going to get Rucker involved? I know they're currently holding 4 of the top 5 positions here, so you want to see how they work together as a team. But the top 3 of Knockout, Shotgun, and Con Man, they figured it out here at Kentucky, and they're running single file as a train around this track. We'll see how much longer they can keep it up.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody can get them on the restart and break this train up.
Yeah, right now it's all ENEA right now having the top 3 spots, but the 4 car of Unveiled Desert sitting there in 4th, trying to hunt down those top 3. He might need a little bit of help though, because as we've seen so far, a theme of this tournament at these tracks is you really gotta find your line, and you have to get guys in your draft if you want to catch some of the league cars. We saw last night in the race between the Fast Family League and I'm drawing a blank on the other name that was competing against them, but that was at Atlanta, and that's a fast track where the draft really matters. And we saw, a lot of that race came down to how fast you could get to the bottom lane and ride it out.
Yeah, I want to talk just a little bit about that race. I had the pleasure of being in the officiating booth for that and calling it as the 24 gets under the 17. The 17 told him to take it. He told the 22 and the 24 to go ahead and just pass him. He'll tuck him behind that line. But going back to last night's race with Fast Family, there was a video that was shown after the race, about 2 hours after, that showed that Ford Tuck made a mistake coming off a pit road, got 2 tires above the yellow line, which turned out to be a pit road exiting penalty. Cost them a couple points in stage 2, but they still managed to win. It was a tighter battle than what it was during the race. It was 6. It turned out to be a 2-point battle toward the end. So anything can happen here. These teams could get really close in points, and somebody can send a video in, and they might not win. It's unofficial for a reason. When we close out our broadcast, everything is up in the air still. The officials still have a ton of work to do to review any video that's sent to us. The commentators receive it. They give a third-party, unbiased opinion on what happened. They don't just go off and send it to the people that competed in the race. They go with a very unbiased opinion, And like it showed last night, Ford Tough was penalized at the end of stage 2, and he was stripped of his points. And the guys that was in the other league, they jumped up 3 positions and they got the points instead. So anything can happen here in this showdown.
That matchup last night between the Game Fuel Cup Series and the Fast Family Racing League, it came down to the wire. It didn't seem like it was at first, but as the race went on, Game Fuel kind of had a late surge, and they were able to make it. They were able to make it a very good matchup towards the end, and it was very good to see.
It comes down to penalties, and it comes down to mistakes, and that's what I've said every time I've gotten the broadcast booth. It comes down to strategy and mistakes. The team that can play the best strategy, stay up front with the clean air, and also minimize any of the mistakes. Here at Kentucky, the way you want to exit pit road is you want to come all the way around the track until you see the complete yellow line break up into dotted lines. That's where you would like to get back on the track and merge. Any time before that, you're going to be assessed a penalty, and it's a drive-through, and it could be a crusher to your team. So staying down there on the bottom is the best way to do it, and it might not be the fastest way. You might just want to dive back on the track, but I promise you, you don't want to mess your team up by getting a penalty for something that you don't need, as I believe the caution is out.
But touching on the penalty thing is we get a caution. Touching back on that, I think probably the easiest penalties to get in this tournament are definitely when it comes to entering or exiting pit road, because those are two kind of common things that guys really have certain they have certain methods for how they exit and enter pit road. And when you implement a system where you have to enter in pit road a certain way and you have to exit a certain way, some guys it's just not second nature to them, and then they accidentally do come up on the racetrack too early when exiting, or they don't enter in pit road in turn 3 or whatever the rule may be for that event. And it can definitely be a crusher. Obviously, it's a innocent type of penalty. It's not malicious or anything like that. But rules are the rules, and you gotta follow them, even if they do seem kind of over. I don't know what the exact word is, but the officials are trying to make the racing as clean as possible and trying to avoid as many unnecessary wrecks. And you can get those unnecessary wrecks when you're entering or exiting pit road.
Yeah, every league runs differently. Every league has a different method of how to exit and enter pit road. Some leagues say if you don't have a car coming up anywhere out of the exit or coming into 1 or 2, you can blend back in the track as long as you stay out of the way of the cars that are coming at full song. This league's not. They're going to go based off of NASCAR rules. They went completely off of it. NASCAR states that at the exit of turn 2, when the dotted line starts to happen here, that's where you're going to exit pit road. If you exit before that, it's going to be a costly penalty, and if it is not called during the race, it could cost your team 5 points. It could cost your team wherever that person finishes. If one of the guys that are sitting in third, and it's a 9-point battle, and the guy in third has a pit road penalty, and he doesn't get called during the race, and after the race it's assessed, and one of the 3 wide racing guys is there, they're going to move up to that spot, and it's going to determine on how many spots they can move up with all of their team to determine who's going to end up winning this. So we never know once we drop the checker flag who won the race or who won the tournament and who's going to advance to the road course round. But it's very interesting to see as I'm watching shotguns. This should be the last pit stop that they make during here unless there's any more cautions. It looks like the tires are wearing a little bit more than I would expect. They get 21 laps on fuel, but I'm curious to see if the tires are actually going to hold up. They only ran they didn't run that many laps. They didn't go a full fuel run. They were about 5 laps short of the fuel run here. So I'm interested to see. The 22 is going to beat them off pit road here.
Yeah, so the race off pit road, the 22 had a good pit stop right there, got out in front of the 24. In terms of points, I don't think that really shakes up much. I believe those two guys are teammates. Yeah, they are. So in terms of points, doesn't really shake up too much. ENEA still has the top 2 spots right now, but we should expect a little bit of a lead change here. And but yeah, it's so far it's been a pretty clean race. I'm honestly surprised. We only had 1 caution so far. I expected more guys to be kind of sliding all over the place, but so far it's been pretty clean, which is always what you want to see. It helps, obviously for the guys that are racing. It helps for the officials and makes their jobs easier, and also, and us, we're not sitting here for a long time in the booth.
Yeah, it gets kind of antsy up here after a while. But the one thing I can say from Heat 4 to Heat 5 is there's more grip in these cars. You're able to kind of hang them out on the edge just a tad bit more. And it's very interesting as it looks like pace car pulled off. We're going green here. 22 is going to pull. Oh, looks like he tried to jump it and backed off. 24, 22 is going to be side by side. I don't know if the officials are going to review that restart or not. It looked like the 22 tried to pull out real fast and then just brake checked for a second.
Yeah, so we'll keep it.
22 is going to clear. Ford's going to ride the 24's bumper all the way through to number 4, P3, aiming for second.
Yeah, so here comes the 4 car. He's coming on the inside right there. He's the highest running car.
Oh, he drifts up the track.
Oh, 3 wide in turn 3 and 4. The 17, the 4, and the 24. And then I believe the 4 got into the 12. That they're almost 4 wides. They come to the tri-oval here, as the 4 car had a big run there and just could not hold it there on the bottom, slid up the racetrack, may have gotten nicked from behind, so he will fall back. He was the highest running car for the 3-wide racing league, and now that may change as they come here out of turn 2. 22, the double deuce in the lead, 17 behind him, and the 24 following in line. The 12 car is sitting there.
Yeah, as the 4 car the 42 got around the 4 car. The 4 car slided back down into the 5th position to hold on there. He's battling the 12 car for the 4th position. We can see if the 3-wide racing guys are going to come up here. And, in the first couple laps, we have not seen them, race up front as much as we thought that they would. Qualifying was dominated by ENEA. So very curious to see, as we're looking at 16 to go when they cross the line on our stream here, how they are actually going to balance the strategy. If a caution comes out early in this state or earlier in this fuel run, who's going to pit, who's not going to pit, that's going to determine anything. As the 22 drifts up the track, 17, 24 gets a run. 22 is going to back and be a good teammate and get behind the 24. They're letting the fastest car lead this race.
Oh, 24 got the 22.
Up there.
24 got loose.
Thought it was clear.
Yeah, the 24 may have hit the apron a little bit and maybe shot him up into his teammate in the 22, but right now they look to be all right here as we flip through the field, going back to the 12th car of Annihilator 8888. He's sitting here in about 10th. No, probably more about 8. Yeah, no, that's probably about 10. But yeah, he's sitting here right next to the 19 behind the 42. Again, it's really been all ENEA right now. That 4 car for 3-wide racing league, Unveiled Desert, he's really been the main one, kind of the flag carrier, and that's also a theme that we've seen throughout this tournament. Is we've seen the league that doesn't have a lot of guys up there, they seem to have kind of 1 or 2 flag carriers kind of doing most of the hard work for them, while the guys in the back seem to struggle. So right now, as it stands, it'll probably going to be 3-wide is going to have a very tough time here trying to get some points. They might need it. Honestly, a caution might be in their best favor here to get guys back grouped up, maybe adjust their cars a tad bit, and potentially try to make up some make up some spots, some points here if there were a caution on the restart.
Yeah, out of the top 7 right now, they only have 1 guy that's currently up there for the 3-wide racing boys. That's the 4 car. I'm going to look behind the 12 car here. The 21's kind of making his presence known too. That's LLMC Delta. He's currently trying to hold off another spot. I don't know who the black car is. It looks like a couple people just disappeared on the string here.
Okay, so
try to get the car number. Try to get the car number on that all black Chevy back there to see if maybe that is one of the 3-wide guys trying to make some noise and come up here. But the 42 car looks like he's holding the 12 up just a tad bit here as he gets a big push from the 21. See how the teammates can try to work together, or not teammates actually, how they can work together to get around them, or is the 12 car just going to block the 21 to keep his ENEA guys up front.
Oh, 12 car may have got loose a little bit there off turn 2, dives to the apron, leaving the high side open for the 21, but the 12 regains his bearing, slides him behind that 42, kind of puts a little bit of a pick on that 21. He's going to ride him through the corner right here as they come off turn 4. But these 3-wide guys are really going to have to get going here if they want to have a chance to make this a close points race down the stretch. I will say, though, one thing last night that was good about the Fast Family Racing League and the Game Fuel Cup Series that they did have paint schemes. Their schemes were aligned to their league. So, the Fast Family, all of them had some hint of orange in their scheme. and the game fuel guys had I think they had a kind of like a black base with some kind of like a tune tone scheme with some other color on their car and a certain type of font for their number, which made it easy to. At least for the guys in the booth, it made it really easy because you're able to kind of see who was on which team or whatever. So
Yeah, we feel like I've lost my train of thought here. Um, very, very interested as you see that the fall off here actually is what I was going to bring up. The fall off here hasn't fell off too much. I'm watching the leader stream here, and he's only fell off maybe about a tenth in the 10 laps that we've run so far. We're coming down to 9 to go as we cross the line, and his lap times really hasn't fell off as much, but they have definitely pulled away. It is a 4-car breakaway up front with all of the ENEA guys. They pulled away from the 5th place guy of Unbuilt Desert by 1.2 seconds as they come out of turn 2. I don't believe he's catching any of the draft. I know the draft effects are just a tad bit stronger in this game, but draft is ultimately going to be the big key. It's going to be the team who can get in the line the best, and it looks like ENEA has figured it out, and they've practiced this. They've had 18 other chances to watch every other league do it on a mile and a half, and they look like they are poised to try to get as max points here if they can get the rest of the guys up there to knock that 4-car out of a top 5 position. I mean, stage points are critical. That could make or break your team. As we saw last night, the GF team battled the Fast Family guys. Stage 1, it was a 10-point breakaway, and then they came back on them, and it turned out to be who had the most people in the teens. We don't look at the 11th on back, but the 11th on back guys at the end of the race, they get points too.
Mm-hmm.
Top 10 gets it in the stage, but the guys who are 11th on back are really what's going to make or break you.
Yeah.
You could have the most guys in the top 10 as the 11 car puts the 22 in the wall. I don't know if they meant to do that or not, or if the 11 just got a little bit of loose, but the guys who are sitting back there in the back, they can make or break your team. If you got a bunch of guys for the 3-wide racing and they got 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th, and the rest of your guys are on back, that could play dividends on who's going to win this race points-wise.
Yeah, again, that's one thing that some people kind of forget about is like, yeah, those guys are outside the top 10, but they're still getting points for their team. So it's still important, even when you're outside the top 10, to race as hard as you can. And pass the other team if they are sitting back there, because you're still getting points. You just might not get those bonus stage points or whatever. So definitely that's one big thing that you got to hit home if you're a league owner, is that, hey, even if you're outside the top 10, you still got to race as if you're inside the top 10, because every point is going to matter down the stretch, especially when we get down to penalties and all that stuff, because most of the time those penalties aren't assessed until after the race is done, and you might not even know that your team received a penalty until after the race is over, until you wake up the next day. So it's definitely a concept of get every point that you can get, obviously as clean as you can. You don't want to put somebody up the racetrack into the wall, but at the same time you do want to race hard for every point that you can get.
Yeah, I was up to about 3 o'clock in the morning assessing video that was sent to me by the other guys, and we assessed as many penalties as we possibly could assess, but they're coming down here to 3 to go in the stage. The 24 car has pulled away to a 1.3 second lead on the 11 car of TRT 779. 24 is walking away with this. ENEA is going to walk away with what looks to be the top 5 in stage points, as Rutger has came into the picture in the 42 Credit One Bank Chevy. So right now it just looks like the ENEA guys came to play, and I talked to the Pro League guys yesterday, the guy who won the race. We had a bit of a discussion about what's the difference between a custom league and a preset league, and he made it very well known, if you watched the stream last night and the post-race interviews, that a lot of guys give the preset guys a bad name. They go in and they say that the Pro League guys can't run on presets, or they can't do this, they can't do that. But it showed last night, he led dang near every lap.
Mm-hmm.
They walk in here, they have the Fanatec wheels, they have a lot of practice and a lot of laps on the tracks. They understand what the car needs to feel like. So
Yeah.
These custom guys here in the 3-wide racing league, they need to find something on a preset that they're not used to running.
Yeah.
They ran the track, but they ran it on custom. They're used to getting a little bit more grip in the corners. They're used to being able to hit the gas as hard as they want. They're not used to having to roll the corner more. They're not used to the tire fall off like it is here in a 3 times wear race. And maybe sometime in stage 2 or the middle of stage 3, they'll figure it out here. As it looks like this is the white flag lap as the 24 comes into 3, coming out of 4. Top 5 positions are going to be all ENEA as they come to the start-finish line here at Kentucky. Stage 1 is complete.
Yeah, but so 24 will get the stage win. 11 sitting behind him, 17 third, 22 in fourth. But yeah, touching on that custom setup thing. Yeah, I do think that some of the pro league guys kind of do get they do kind of get some crap from other guys about how they can't run on presets, which I think is false. I mean, they're in the pro league, they're there for a reason. They all had to start doing presets, and then obviously when they got to the pro league, then they started running some custom setups and all that stuff. And I do think that the pro league definitely kind of gets held back from the limitations of the games. Nothing they're doing wrong. It's just that kind of the way the game is. It kind of limits their kind of their ceiling that they can get to as far as a whole league. Not the quality of the racing, because the quality of the racing they have is absolutely exceptional. I love watching the pro league go at it and all that stuff. But here we go as we are entering stage 2 here, as it looks like we are going
They only
through
had
here.
2 cars in the top 10.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
that is not good
Tough
for
blow.
not good for a 3-wide. As they only had 2 cars in the
They have
top
a new
10.
leader,
right there.
9 car.
Yeah, but yeah, they must say that number 9, engine number 9. He is our leader. Oh, he gets loose off turn 2. Oh, in the inside wall. He's in the wall off turn 2. So as I say that, he
I
will.
believe he forgot to pit.
Yeah, he may have been the guys that kind of forgot to pit. So a tough break. That's probably why he was up there, is because he forgot to pit or something. Something happened. I know sometimes the way this game is, you can press A to pit, but it won't actually send you into pit, or you may not press A to confirm to pit, which ultimately in the end basically has you not pit. So tough break for the 9 car, as I thought we maybe had a change in the lead and potentially a breakout there for 3-wide, but it looked like it may have just been kind of operator error right there, as he may have just forgot to pit or didn't confirm to pit. But meanwhile, the 17 leading out in front here, ENEA Knockout. I'll probably start calling these guys by the second word in their gamer tag, because you got ENEA Conman, the 22, and all those guys with ENEA kind of as the prefix of their gamer tag. So Knockout here, he's leading the field here as they're starting to get single file behind him. The 24 sitting there in second, the 42 in third, 22 in fourth. That's come in to 3 and 4. Here comes the 11 on the bottom of the 19. He's looking to push his way up through the field. That's the 11 car. I'm looking on my roster right now. I'm failing to look. Oh yeah, he is for ENEA, TRT 779. So this top 5 being dominated by ENEA right now. And again, like how you were talking about earlier, BLM. I think those 3-wide guys might be a little bit caught off guard by the fact that they had to run presets and they can't edit their car to the the fullest that they usually do with their customs.
That's actually a huge break on that 9 car. The 3-wide racing guys, they struggled in stage 1. They didn't get very many points, and it looks like they just eliminated one of their cars for the end of stage 2, unless they get a caution or multiple cautions. I believe here at this track he should only win about 1 lap down, depending on if he ran out of fuel or not. So it's going to be very tough unless they get a caution here anytime soon to get him back on the lead lap, to get him into a position to get stage points. That is very critical due to the fact that ENEA did dominate the top 5 in the first stage here. It comes down to that word again, mistakes.
Exactly.
At first we thought he was playing strategy, but it turns out that he was just making a mistake here. Hopefully he can rebound and we can get a better show as the 24 goes under the 17. 22 is going to follow suit. I believe he's going to let all of his teammates get by to avoid the battle, to keep the other cars from catching up as they're going 2 by 2 for the first 2 rows here.
Yeah, I believe the only way that we maybe see that 9 car get back on the lead lap is if we have a caution before we get to the green flag pit stops. Because as soon as we get to the green flag pit stops, that's when guys start going a lap down, and that's when we get into trouble. I actually had the experience in my race for the SXRL a couple nights or a few nights ago. I ended up getting wrecked a couple times in the pit road and put myself 2 laps down, and I was stuck there for most of the race until about 20 laps to go in the final stage, just because we didn't have that many cautions, and because of the green flag runs and the green flag pit stops, it put other guys in front of me a lap down while I was 2 down, and it was just hard to get back on the lead lap. So if that 9 car and 3 wide wants to get back on the lead lap, they're going to need a caution sometime before the green flag pit stops.
I've got a points update, everybody, if you all want to hear it.
All right, here we go. Let's give it to us. Joe Har, one of our officials tonight, actually our pace car tonight, and he is actually going to be doing our points as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, these guys are running so clean out here, I could bring out a pen and paper and macchiato and sit here in my pace car and do the points. No calculator needed.
Just make sure that nobody spills your macchiato while you're out there pacing the field around.
We'll make sure. Right now, ENEA has the points lead, of course, dominating that first stage, but 3 wide still got a respectable 7 points there. We've definitely seen, bigger deficits get made up. So they got some ground to do, but definitely obtainable there. So 48-7 right now, ENEA after stage 1.
Okay.
Well, 48-7. That is definitely a mountain to climb here. In stage 2, looks like it's being dominated again by ENEA. They currently hold the top 5 positions here. Try to go back a little bit further in the field as the 42 is trying to hold off the 21 and the 48 here. They're all in this. Oh no, that's 3 wide. So trying to hold off the guys in 3 wide racing. We got 3 of them behind him, so we'll see how he can manage here.
And again, this is a tough, kind of a tough pill to swallow if you're kind of sitting in the second pack. Is that you may have to, or if your goal is to catch that lead pack, you might have to work and kind of be frenemies with the other team. You guys may have to kind of work together to get back up to the lead pack, but. Then again, if you're ENEA, then you might be telling the 42, hey, just go ahead and be a brick in the water. Just go ahead and sit there and just kind of just not necessarily block, but be a pest. Kind of give them a hard time getting around, trying to get around you, because that's just letting the top 4 pull away. So definitely the 42 is doing a very good job of kind of sitting there and not necessarily being a wrecker or a blocker, but. More of just kind of just just sitting there, just driving his line and not really causing any problems, at least not, in terms of wrecking anybody, just being a pest and making it difficult for 3 wide to really get past him.
Yeah, I keep watching these guys back here behind the 42, and it looks like the 21 is just pushing a little bit tight. Like I said, this is the balance between running a preset and running a custom. I know a lot of people say that there's not a big difference, but when you're able to run your shocks, you're able to change the track bar, you're able to change everything on it. You can have a little bit of a different balance, and it's something that I don't think that they're really used to doing. The good ones always rise to the top, and you can tell who knows the track better, because you can kind of run it the same way. It's just your car is going to be able to pick up the throttle in different parts of the track. Typically, with a custom setup here, you're able to dive into turn 1 or dive into turn 3, and you don't have to get off the gas as much. You're just kind of fellering it a little bit, and you can do that for 10 to 15 laps of the fuel run, depending on what wear that you're on, and it gives you a better balance of what the tires are going to fall off, how the car's going to roll, how loose is it going to get down the end of the run. And I don't think that I would hope that the 3 wide guys, put in just a little bit more practice for running a preset as they're used to the custom. And I hope they just didn't come into this thinking that they were going to pull away with it, because they were a custom setup league. But it's a big difference between running a custom and running a preset. You have more stuff to change. Just a preset, you have wedge, tire, and tape. So there's not a whole lot you can do here. So
personally, I've always been in leagues for the whole time that I've been doing league races, whether it's been on these NASCAR Heat games or whether it's been back on the U-Tetanus games. I've always been a guy that's just done pit road setups and been in leagues that have been pertaining to those type of rules. And I personally I'm more on the side of I think it's more impressive to dominate in a race where everybody's running the same setup or the same setups with the presets or whatever. Yeah, obviously dominating in and of itself is impressive, but I feel like when everybody's on the same playing field and you're still able to dominate even both with your custom and with a preset, I feel like that's a little bit more impressive because because you can't adjust the car fully to how you want it to be. You just gotta roll with what's best, basically on the same playing field as everybody else. Or I guess I should say same picking field because you can pick whatever setup you want and all that stuff. But yeah, personally, I think pulling away on presets, like kind of like how we saw last night with Rowdy Matt. I thought that was very impressive by him because again, going back to that kind of stigma that guys that run customs can't be fast on presets, but then like you said just moments ago, the best ones always rise to the top, and I feel like the ones that rise to the top, that's very impressive that they can be that diverse to where they can run custom or preset. It doesn't matter. They're out here to race and they're out here to win the race.
Well, if I can interject for a second.
Yeah, I actually want to bring Dohar into this. Dohar is a pro league guy. You caught me right when I was about to say it.
Yeah.
I want to bring Dohar in. You ran this track on a custom setup in the pro league. What is the difference of a lift point and the difference of the draft and what you could do to the car here that's going to make it just a tad bit faster here at Kentucky?
Well, before I get to that point, that's a fantastic question. I want to point out, as Dynamite was talking about, we had something unprecedented happen yesterday in both races. We had two guys get max points for their individual selves. Rangers joining, of course, Rowdy Matt, as these guys are getting ready for pit stops here. But we've only had 6 guys do it, Stout Whiskey being another one, Mr. Track Bar, Lucky Dog, as well as NNR Asbill, accumulating max points. So a shout out to those guys because all of those guys race custom setups as well. Now, going back and piggying back off of your question, I really feel like running a custom setup helps you appreciate presets more. I started presets back in Heat 2, back then. And then in Heat 3, I almost went exclusively to custom setups to prepare for getting in the Pro League. And once I did that, I went back to presets, man. I felt lost. The lift points are so different. With a custom setup car, man, you could drive that car in at almost every track, especially Kentucky, almost full throttle, if not 3 to 4 car lengths deeper. So it's a huge adjustment and learning curve sometimes going to presets, but really that's where you get a greater appreciation for the talents of the driver behind the wheel or behind the controller, because you're all on the same stuff. At the end of the day, we can make these subtle adjustments between preset 3, 4, 5 at some tracks, but when you get down to the real nitty-gritty, it comes down to who makes the better pit road adjustments, who has the better tire and wedge combination. So it really does come down to the driver a lot more in these cases. I've seen guys run 3 or 4 different presets at these tracks and be just as dominant on any of them. So really it's a true talent to do presets, and I'm glad that it's a part of this tournament because it really puts it the onus on the drivers to really step up to the plate.
Yeah.
I'll actually ask you another question based to caveat on what you were talking about with presets here. So there's 1 through 9 in the presets. At a track like Kentucky, what would be your recommended idea of which one you would go with? Are you going to go with a tighter car here and hope that you get long runs? Are you going to hope that you can tighten up a looser car and just kind of run it like that? Like, where's the balance for you and what you would want to find in a car here at a track like this?
So that's a great question and a loaded question a little bit in the same. When I'm driving on a preset...
Don't give your secrets.
No. I'm not one of those guys that's very secretive. Unless it's something that's been shared with me in confidence, I'm rarely ever going to withhold information. Custom setups are anyways, I'm an open book. To anybody watching, if you ever need advice or need help, if I'm not busy, my DMs are open on Twitter, on Discord. My DMs are open. I will gladly share with you every bit of information I could share. But when it comes to preset at a track like Kentucky, it is a track that is generally a tighter racetrack, so you do want to run a higher preset, but you don't want to run too high of a preset where you're burning the right rear tire off, especially in a long run. So when we ran here, because eSpark also ran at Kentucky in our race, I ran preset 4, I believe, where a couple of my teammates actually ran preset 3. Me being on the wheel now for a couple months. I'm a little bit more accustomed to it. I feel a little bit more comfortable running a loose race car and kind of correcting the steering, especially on corners exit. But typically, at a lot of these tracks, you'll find you want to run lower presets because it gives you more control. It gives you more long run speed because, as you see right now, and why you guys are talking to me, the pace car, these guys are so clean out here, they're not crashing. They're getting long green flag runs in. So you have to have as consistent of a car in laps 1 through 10 as you do in laps 10 through 21. Otherwise, you're not going to be running up front. And that's why, like, the 22 is very dominant right now leading this race. He's pulling away from the 11, the 24, the 42. He's doing a fantastic job at that. So you really want to consider running lower presets at most of these tracks and then adjusting your tires, maybe bumping up the tire pressures to use a little bit of that extra wear you've got in the tank to then get some extra speed out of it.
Yeah, perfect. That's a great explanation.
Thank you for explaining it.
Yeah, let's say that was the perfect.
Hey, no problem, guys.
The perfect explanation. Thank you, Dohar, for that one. Yeah, I do know that at some of these mile and a half, well, yeah, more specifically the mile and a halves. Yeah, bumping up those right sides or whatever is really a way to be faster and again, kind of control your wear as well. It's probably the best you can do without being able to use a custom setup. So. Well, here we go here. Midst of stage 2, 22 car, ENEA Conman. He's leading the field right now. The stream from the 24, I was trying to watch it to know how many laps are left.
It has went black.
Yeah, his stream's gone. So we are low on, or we
are blind here.
Yeah, so
we're improvising. So we're doing.
Yeah, so we do not have a lap count for you guys right now. Hopefully, he can maybe get that stream up in the middle of the stage here. However many laps are almost gone here. But, yeah, right now, apparently the 22 is your lead car. Thanks to Dohar for kind of putting in that one while he was, giving his explanation. Because, yeah, I was at a loss. I was trying to flip the field. I'm like, I don't know who's in the lead. I don't know how many laps we had to go. I'm just chilling here, just trying to flip the field and get everybody some screen time here. So...
Is Ford Tough, are you still in this party?
I am not completely sure.
He's administering the other race.
Okay.
Do we have any official in here? I have a couple questions for you as well.
Probably Stout Whiskey. Probably be the guy to ask.
Out. This is BLM Trump in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
It looks like he is not at the. He is not.
He is focused on this race. Alpha York. This is BLM Trump in the booth. You got a copy, buddy? I got a question based off the pit road. So I saw multiple pit road entries here. I saw that the 24 and the 22 and 11 all got down below the yellow line, but I saw the 21 car actually got on the access road. Can you explain to the viewers who were watching what is the procedure of getting into pit road here at Kentucky?
Is he talking or no? Because I don't have him muted or anything, but.
So you're currently discussing the rule based off of the 3 wide guys. We're using the access road. I saw that plain and simple. What is the rule currently about passing before you entering pit road? Can you give the spot back if you pass the guy, or is it if you enter pit road before him and he was supposed to enter pit road in second? What's the balance there? That sounds good. I hope this doesn't cost the 3 wide guys battles.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. When we ran here, we were told we could just pit off of turn 4, so I would assume that still rang true.
Use it, but that they didn't have to. So that's what we're kind of figuring out right now.
Yeah, so I was, I had those guys muted for the stream, so I was kind of flip through. I'm like, oh, who's talking right now? But someone told me it was Alpha York, so I was able to get the back half of all that. But, yeah, man, so we're just rolling here through stage 2, 22 cars. Still your leader, again, not quite sure who's in second. I'm assuming it's these guys behind him, the 24 and the 11. Not completely sure on that one.
Yes, correct.
Okay, yeah. So these guys have been really just kind of sitting here for a while. They haven't really made up any ground on the 22. Both the 24 and the 11 and the 17 really just been sitting at the same distance for most of this run after we kind of got through the green flag pit stops.
Coming to 3 to go, Booth. 3 to go this time on the
3 to
22.
go on the stage.
Yeah.
Looks like ENEA. He's once again going to dominate the top 10 as the 22 is going to pull away, and he's probably going to get him a stage 2 victory.
Yeah, so, yeah, barring any sort of weird lap traffic or sudden lag spike or tire wear mishaps or something, 22 cars should be your winner for stage 2. Again, it would be another ENEA stage win, and ultimately they're really dominating this race so far. They have at least top 4 positions. It looks like that 4 car of Unveiled Desert for 3 wide. It looks like he is the highest running 3 wide car. So, yeah, points may not look too good in terms of 3 wide. At the end of this one, as the 17 hits the wall, coming off turn 2 right there. But here we come to the white flag of stage 1 here, or stage 2, I should say. Excuse me. 22 car again, your leader. We flip through the field right now. It's been all ENEA, so yeah, I'm definitely expecting the points to be very lopsided once we get to the stage break. Don't know what 3 wide has in the bag. It's going to take don't want to say a miracle, but I mean, the way it's looking right now with that floor car being the highest running car, and he's only in 5th, that's definitely not good at all. But here comes the 22, ENEA Conman off of turn 4, coming to the stage 2 win. He will get 11 car, I believe, got 2nd, 24 in 3rd, 17 4th, and the 4 car in 5th. So that is the end of stage 2 here. Pretty mellow so far. Only a handful of cautions here.
I think we've only had one. I'm going to ask the guys that are in the chat here if you got any questions for the booth while we commentate
if the stream is in
very one-sided race. Please ask your questions, and we will try to pull a Jerry Seinfeld and improvise as much as we can in here.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get some comedy going on in this Twitch broadcast tonight.
Yeah, looks like Shotgun stream is still just black right now.
Still black.
So, again, I guess we're going to have to rely on Dohar and some of the other officials to give us a lap counter as we get to the later parts of stage 3. But, yeah.
I'm hoping, guys, that now that there'll be longer laps for the pace car, because sometimes when I go so many laps down in stage 1, it doesn't let me give the lap count or get a lap count that I can base off of with how many laps I am down.
Mm-hmm.
It should be able to in stage 3, so I'll be able to help you guys here on to the end. But these guys are
Here
doing
we go
great,
back
man.
to the
Clean and
restart
green.
zone. 22 car's going to pull away as he gets to the line. Gets a good jump on the restart. Teammates are working together very nicely here. They're letting each other back into the bottom. They're not really racing one another. They're trying to gap the field as much as possible and continue to gain max points. Right now, it's currently an ENEA walk away with this. We haven't seen many of the 3 wide racing guys battle up there as the 48 puts the 88 and 24 up the track. That's the 48 of
Tuner XGA.
Turner.
Yeah, Turner, yeah.
Wow.
Excuse me, yeah. Turner.
Maybe he's making a big run and he takes one of the fastest cars back to the back of the field, and it's going to be very interesting to watch Shotgun see if he can make his way up and dice through the field here at Kentucky.
Yeah, so we'll see how this one plays out here. Yeah, Turner XGA, I guess that's Turner X Georgia. As the 95 flies down into the apron there along with the 12 car. They seem to keep it straight, though, as they come into turns 3 and 4. Not quite sure if that 9 car got back on the lead lap. I'm going to check the chat here on the stream to see if maybe we got anything. Yeah, nothing in the chat so far about who's on the lead lap or if the 9 car did get back on the lead lap.
Well, this coming in from the admins is the fact that the access road is not needed. You do not need the access road. You can wave down to the back straightaway and pull down coming out of 4. Super NASCAR fan just asked the question, what track is the championship race at? We do not know. There is a wild card round that has not been put out yet. I know they are doing a draw on Friday, randomly draw to pick who's going to run what road course and what leagues are going to match up against who. They're folding the tournament down, so 1 through 21, obviously the first place team in points has a bye. Second on down is going to fold over, and the second place team is going to face the 21st league, and so forth and so on. But the championship round will be announced at a later date. So please stay tuned to the broadcast, and I'm sure we'll get all the answers clarified soon.
So here we go, 11 car, new face out here of TRT 779. He leads the field here, coming to turns 1 and 2, the 22 in second, 17 third, and I believe that is that's the 48 actually in fourth, and once again the 4 car of Avil Desert. He is sitting there in fifth. That's really been his main running spot the whole day. Is fifth place. Hasn't been able to quite get up to that lead pack. I believe his big problem is that he kind of gets caught up in lap traffic and then can't quite catch on to the draft before it gets away from him. And at that point, it's kind of just GG from there, as it's all about getting the draft. But he's sitting there. He's hunting right there in fifth. He might be able to get a tag here on the draft with the 48. He might be able to get it here off turn 2, to be honest. Let's see what happens. Because it's probably the closest he's been this far into a green flag run. So if he can get to that 48, as a 48 slides up the racetrack, which is going to slow him down, or it's going to slow the 48 down, might allow that 4 car to get a tag of that draft. So if the 4 car can get up there and make some noise, force these guys to really battle it out, it could slow them up enough to get that second pack involved too, and maybe he could help out some of his teammates back there. But because 3 wide is definitely going to need a lot of guys up there to make this a close one here, as we probably should be having a points update soon from Dohar, but we'll see what happens.
I've got it right now.
Hey, there he
is. Just
is.
waiting for a clean time to enter into the conversation. Well, 3 wide was able to make up some points there in that, get more points than they did the previous stage. It was still 44-11 in favor of ENEA. So right now your total tally after both stages is 92-18 ENEA. We're going to need to see a big uptick in performance here from 3 wide if they want to stay alive in the tournament.
Thank you for that update.
And they're going to need to get a shot of whiskey out of the kitchen, get a nice cigar, sit back, put a nice fat
They'll
dip
have
in
to
if
get it
that's what
from
they're
Stout
into.
Whiskey.
Yeah, they're going to have to call Stout up, see if they can get a good old shot of Kentucky bourbon, and see if they can make some horses sing here as the 48 car's finally making a run. The 4
car's sitting there too. Yep.
48 here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you got 2 guys battling up here in the top 5 that we have not seen all race really even make some noise with the leaders. So maybe this is what I was saying at the end of stage 1 with the preset versus custom. It's going to take a minute. It takes a minute to kind of adjust. I know people say, and there's people that might come in the chat, I haven't been able to see all of it. I just turned it on. That the custom setup, the side, and Mr. Dohar explained it very well, that it makes you appreciate more of what the preset guys do. And now you're starting to see some these guys that use a custom setup have figured it out with what they want to do. The tire fall off is a whole lot different. So maybe they figured something out now, and you got the top 3 is now a mix. The 11 car for ENEA, and the next 2 positions are for 3 wide racing. The 4 car looks like he's got a fast enough car.
He's sitting there.
This lead from the 11.
Yeah, that 4 car, he is there on the bumper of the 11 as it come off turn 4, the 48, sitting there in third, kind of falling off a tad bit, but that's still good to have, to have 2, more than just a 4 car up there, and be higher than 5th right now. So it's definitely good to see. And as they battle out right now, I believe that second pack with the 24 is starting to catch just a tad bit, not too much, but that 24 car of ENEA Shotgun, he's leading that second pack right now with the 95 and the 3 car on his.
Here comes the
tail.
4 car for the lead, coming in the middle of 3. He's got the lead and the advantage off of 4. They're coming down here. The 48's getting a good run off, trying to catch the 11, get a good draft down the front straightaway going into 1. The 4 cars for the first time tonight is going to lead this race.
Yeah, and this is what I was saying earlier, is that this is what 3 wide needed to do, was they needed to get up there and cause some guys to start shifting up to the high lane, trying to get some battles going, because what that does, it forces guys to slow down. It allows the guys that are single file behind to catch up and get the draft there. Is that 24 still sitting there with the 95 and the 3 on his rear right now, trying to see if they can catch a tag of the 17's draft here as they come down the front stretch and into turn 1. So it looks like, the third stage, as we believe we may have a caution. I believe caution is out here. But still, a very good green flag run right there from 3 wide. They were able to get the 4 car up there to the lead. The 48 was sitting there as well in third, and it wasn't going to be too long before that 95 and that 3 car. I believe the 95 is on the team of. Yeah. So
Mayor
yeah.
said the 41 and 9 car wrecked back in the back.
Ah, okay.
I'm very curious to see how. You have a mixed bag of guys up front. The ENEA guys all look like they ran the exact same setup, but it looks like the 3 wide guys have kind of had a mixed bag of who's running what and who's got the speed and where. I don't know if there was a miscommunication somewhere, because you've seen the 4 car up front through all the stages in the whole race. He's been up front. Very, very curious to see what the race is going to play out. If they found an adjustment that they could give the rest of their guys to come up here and maybe mix this up with the ENEA guys. They need a Hail Mary.
Yeah, they really do.
I think back to the Georgia-Tennessee game in 2016.
Oh,
Josh Dobbs throws a Hail
Dobbs.
Mary to Juwan Jennings in the end zone. This is what they need right now. They need a guy that's going to go up there like that 4 car, and they're throwing a bomb. They're throwing a bomb to the end zone right now. And if they don't figure it out, this race is going to slip away. I mean, Stage 1 and Stage 2 proves anything. They don't have much of a chance unless they get up there and they sweep. They're going to need to sweep the top 6, if not the top 10, and make sure the guys back here in the teens actually stay above the ENEA guys. And if it means ruffling up some feathers on a Wednesday night in Kentucky, then so be it. You're going to have to rough up some feathers.
Yeah, it's funny that you referenced the Tennessee and Georgia game because my parents, they both went to UT, so we were a Tennessee family. I actually attend Michigan State. I was born in Michigan, so Michigan stuff or Michigan State is really all I know, but I do know good fair Tennessee stuff. They are one of my favorite colleges or whatever. And yeah, I was definitely happy when Josh Dobbs threw that one up to Juwan in the end zone or whatever. And I've also been on the back end of that too. And you look back, I believe it was last year when Florida had that Hail Mary against Tennessee in week 2 or week 3 when. Well, man,
heartbreaker.
Felipe Franks just chucked that baby to the end zone and just got by everybody. I was like, "Are you kidding me, man?" So, but yeah, that's really what 3 wides kind of need is Hail Mary, and yeah, I've had all my fair shares of Hail Marys. I'm a Lions fan as well, so again, throwing back to like 2017.
I am so sorry.
Oh my God, dude, I've been a Lions fan my whole life. Everybody asks, why I'm a Lions fan. And I don't know why. It's just, their hometown team. So I'm like, sure, that's the only team I know. But yeah, that Hail Mary that they had against the Packers, or that they're on the bad part on against the Packers. I believe that was back in 2017, I believe. So yeah, I've had my fair share of, being on the good side of Hail Marys and on the bad side of Hail Marys. But, and at the end of the day, this is what 3 wide is going to need here. So, and it looks like as I look in the chat, we got one guy in here, in the Raspberry, he goes, "Oh God, not the Vols." So it looks like we don't have a Tennessee fan in the chat.
My good buddy Asbill over here, he knows me from a long time, and he knows that when Rocky Top gets to playing, then it's time to have a little bit of fun. So I'm sitting over here with my Tennessee Volunteer table next to me.
Yeah, there we go.
36 is your free pass. I got my Tennessee Volunteer cup full of ice cold sweet tea and good old Copenhagen mint. So,
yeah, I got it.
We look here. Boehner is keeping us up to date here.
Looks like
42 looks like to be your leader with the 4 car to his outside. 11 sitting in third. 22 in fourth. 48 in fifth. Sixth is the 17. Let's try to get a better view here of who's behind him. The 24 is sitting back there on the row 4. With the 95, the 21, and the 88 are going to round out your top 10. Oh, John Fry down here says, "Go Big Blue." So we got some Michigan fan in here. We got another one, Super NASCAR fan.
Oh, no, not the Wolverines. No, not
if
that.
If you want to choke in big moments, Fry, and Super NASCAR fan, always lean on John Harbaugh's side. He seems to choke when it counts the most.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I've also had my good and bad moments of being a State fan against U of M. So, Obviously, the most famous being back in 2015 with he's trouble with the snap. Oh man, that was a prime year for Michigan State football. But I believe we're about to go back green here. Yep, pace car is off. So here we go. In the midst of stage 3 or into the Geico restart zone. Green flag back in the air. We're racing here at Kentucky 42. Gets off to a good jump here. 4-car does not get the best restart there on the high side. He's going to have to try to get to that bottom lane quick here. Get in line. Get that draft and really stick his nose in there as the 48, his teammate, is sitting up there in third right in front of him. But, he leaves the door open.
He dove right in front of that 24, and I don't believe he could make it stick there as the 24 gets a shot from the 17 coming out of 2 down the back straightaway into 3.
48 puts up the 11.
A run under the 48.
Here comes the 48.
The 11 up the track. Wow, what a race. Finally, we're starting to get some racing here.
Yeah.
We can start broadcasting that and stop talking about it. But 48 car coming out of nowhere, taking the lead. That is fantastic. He had some speed starting stage 3. Let's see if he can make this stick.
Yeah.
They haven't really been up front, so we don't know what they can do. So it's been very good. It's been a very boring stage 1 and stage 2 of ENEA just walking away with this. So hopefully we get us some good racing here towards the end of this, and we can try to make this 2-man broadcast booth work. As the 24 gets under the 48, pushes the 48 up the track just a tad bit with his partner behind him in the 17.
34 laps to go as they hit the stripe this time. And the 24, it looks like he's trying to dive back in there on the 48. Oh, man, this is getting very interesting right now. As now, it looks like, 3 wide, finally, they were able to kind of hit that button. It was like, all right, stage 3, we have got to go. We've got to go now. The 4 car's up there. The 48 is there. The 21 car, he's on the back end of that big pack up there, along with the 3 car, the 95, sitting close behind him. So, 3 wide's doing all they can right now to try to get the way back up. As the 17 almost puts his nose in there, but the 48 right there behind him, 17 slides up a tad bit. 4 car on the bottom as they come out of turn 2. All this battling right now is putting a little bit of a gap in between the 24 and the 17. The 4 car dives to the bottom of the 17, trying to get a nose in there. Couldn't quite get it in there. The 17 closed the door on the 48, slides up the racetrack, almost hits the wall. He will have to reset here and, try to make his way back up.
48 looks like he stepped out just a tad bit coming out of the exit of 2. He came out of the exit of 4 and swung wide as well. I believe he's not able to get the power down as much as possible. It seems like he's dealing with a tight race car. As long as the run adjusts, the tires are going to wear down. You're going to start slipping and sliding just a tad bit more. Some of these guys might have set their car up, like Dohar said, for the longer run. This has been a long run race. We've only seen a couple cautions. You're going to have to set your car up to where it's fast, but it's not crazy loose on the end. As you got the 4 car battling up here with the 17, he dives under the 17 going into 1, puts a little nose to him, gets a run off with the 24 off of 2. Down the back straightaway, the 11's pushing the 4, trying to get a run on the lead. 24 car touches the wall just a tad bit going into 3. Man, this is going to be tough because I'm looking back here through the field.
Yeah, same here. Yeah,
I'm not seeing a whole lot. I'm not seeing a whole lot of the guys for the 3 wide racing as the 11 pushes the 4 up the track. 17 gives the 11 a shot all the way through the corner and all the way through the front straightaway. This is not looking well for the 3 wide guys right now. We're going to have to play some strategy here. I know they're going to have one more pit stop involved in this. They're going to have to pit with probably about 12 or 13 to go. So we're going to have to see if they can manage their tires. I would tell the guys back there that are 10th on back to slow the pace down just a tad bit.
Mm-hmm.
Back it down maybe a half a second or 0.3 of a second. Don't go full throttle in the corners. Kind of burp it a little bit. If you have a shifter, play with the shifter. Save a tad bit of fuel. Still pit when the leaders pit, but take 2 tires. Play something different than the leaders are doing, because all you can hope for if you play that strategy is maybe you get the top 6 of your guys up there. Caution comes out. Everybody's going to want to pit. Everybody's going to want to come into pit road. And if they all come in and you still have the top 6 positions, you can hold that track position. You can still play it just a tad bit and see what you can do. Because right now, pure speed, they're not going to win it. They're not going to win it off the speed.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen the 24, the 11, and the 17 come up through the field. The 24 got shuffled all the way back to the back, and he drove his way all the way back to the front.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the cars haven't. The 88 is in the wall. I don't know if he's having a problem with
The 88 smacks the wall hard as a 12 car back here in the back goes under the 8 car with the 18 quick in tow.
Yeah, but yeah, touching on your thing, yeah, they definitely 3 wide does not have the same speed that ENEA does, meaning that they're really gonna have to rely on some outside variables to help them out. They're gonna have to try to put themselves in a chance to win. And really the key here is that.
Oh, the 8 and 18 make contact. 9 car gets involved. 9 car.
Oh no! Oh my God!
Spins on the back
Oh, 42 around. 88 involved as well. 41 car involved as well. We got multiple cars around on the back stretch.
Bring a caution out.
And again, this is what we were saying. This is what 3 wide needs here is they need a caution. They need some outside variable to help them out and put themselves in a chance to win. It's gonna take some variables outside of their control to help them win because they just don't have the same speed that ENEA does. And and you look at this caution right here, and this is a chance where they can hopefully bank on a good pit stop here, try to get guys up inside the top 10, not lose that draft. We get guys almost wrecking here, trying to get slowed down up to the pace car, but yeah, this is you could kind of attribute this type of concept and strategy to in football when a team knows that they may not be as good, so they rely on time of possession, a outside variable. Which doesn't exactly relate to their skill set. It's just a matter of an aspect of the game or race that they can control to help them win. It's just a matter of being in the right place at the right time, and it's going to be based on cautions really to try to put themselves up there inside the top 10. And then the key is to not lose that draft as the run goes on, because you see these guys, the tires start to wear, and you saw that 48 drop all the way back to about 8th there after starting up there inside the top 5. So it's really just going to be, put themselves in a place where when the tires start to wear, they don't lose too many spots.
I'm gonna put my crew chief hat on here, and if I'm the 3 wide guys, I'm taking advantage of track position. Every race that we've watched so far in this tournament, there's been 1 or 2 guys that's been able to play the track position and stay up there. First race I commentated, the Nasbro's guys stayed out, and they stayed up front. The guy ended up finishing in the top 3. He played strategy in stage 1. These guys in stage 3, we're going to have to pit one more time anyhow, so it's not like, they're going to have to stay out on all the tires. Everybody's going to probably take 4 at the end of the race, especially the ENEA guys. They've dominated the race from green flag till now. So if they don't take 4 tires, they could be sitting ducks at the end. They don't want to lose that track position or the race that they put together, especially the 24 or the 11. They've been up front all day working hard at this. If I'm the 3 wide guys, I'm taking 2 tires right here. I'm getting the track position, and I'm praying for a caution. It's maybe within the fuel window. I'm praying for a caution with maybe 15 to go. I'm praying for the long shot. I don't know if they want to throw the Hail Mary in or grab their cross or whatever they got to do. They're going to have to do something. They're going to have to pray for something big. All these guys that we haven't seen the 36. We haven't seen the 66, the 9 really, unless a caution, the 8. Those guys need to get up front somehow, some way. As you look at the race off pit road, the 24 is going to win it easily. So those guys might not be listening to this stream. And I really hope that they would, because I'm trying to help them get up front. I would send them a message and tell them, hey, take 2 tires. You needed to do something. You have to do something to get yourself in a position. You're not winning the race in 10th. You're not winning the race back there in the teens. You're winning the race in the front, And if they don't want to do it, then, that's on them. They don't have the speed to get up there and beat these ENEA guys flat out. So
exactly.
I would have played some strategy right there, and you would have had a new leader coming off of pit road. But I'm not in this race. I'm up here in the broadcast booth having a great time with the people watching and with you. But I would put my Larry McReynolds in, and I would say strap them belts tight, boys.
Yeah.
I'd strap them belts up, and I'd ride it with 2 tires, tighten it up just a tad bit, and have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was gonna mention, they should take 2 tires, and then you were able to touch on that. Because they gotta do something, because 4 tires obviously is not working, so you might as well throw in a kink there and do 2 tires. But here we go, back into the Geico restart zone. Green flag back in the air, again, a poor restart from the 4 car as they come into turn 1. A really bad restart holds up the 22, and right now ENEA has the top 3 spots, but the 48 car looking back there on the bottom, his teammate, the 4 car, right there behind him. So, can 3 Wide Racing do something here? Can they do something here and do something, do something extraordinary here to try to pull out this win? Because right now they need more of their guys up there inside the top 10. They only have the 4, the 48, the 21. I think they have the 3 car back there as well, maybe the 8 car. But they need more guys up there inside the top 5, because right now the 4 car is sitting there in 4th, and the 48 is going to be dropping like a rock as he hits the wall in the middle of 1 and 2. So not what 3 Wide Racing wanted to see here, as now the 4 car is really the lone flag carrier up here, and he has to try to do the muscle and stick with this top group here, because right now his teammates are not helping him whatsoever.
Yeah, I want to touch on what one of the guys in the comment section asked. Bill, I understand the 4 tires would destroy them, but maybe with 5 laps, maybe they could get 5 laps on the track and they could get a miraculous caution. If they could get something, if they could play just a little bit of strategy. They haven't done anything all race long, so what's it going to hurt to take 2 tires and maybe see the lead for the first time? They've only had the 4 car up front starting on the outside of the front row, maybe twice this race. They had him take the lead once. There's not very much that they've been doing in this race that shows me that the speed and the competition's there to lead the race for a consistent amount of time or to drive up through the field and get to the front. So if I was them, I'd be throwing the last-ditch effort. And this caution could have been a blessing in disguise. It could be the only caution.
Exactly.
And they're still going to have to pit, but they're going to be so far behind that even if they take 2 tires, they're not going to have much of an advantage here. The 24, the 17, and the 11 have put on a pace tonight that has been incredible. The moment that they go up front and they start pulling away, if you're watching the back of the field, they're starting to get lower and lower. They're starting to become ants back here. If they would have taken 2 tires, yes, they might have got swallowed up and they might have got past.
19
But the worst that could happen, the worst that could happen, you're right. It could have stayed green and they could have lost a crap ton of position, but everybody has to pit again. Your net gain at the end of this race, there's 19 to go according to the stream here.
Yeah,
if they took 2 tires and they all had to pit, they could have went from running maybe 13th, 14th, or 15th, and they could have been up there maybe 6th or 7th, and they could have took 4 tires, and they could have changed their net gain plus 10. But instead, here we are. They're still sitting back there in the back. They still don't have much of an advantage. They don't have clean air. They've been racing with the same cars all night. The frustration level's kicking in, and this is where you start seeing a domino effect of cars, and that's not what I really want to see here.
Yeah, and even if they had taken 2 tires, they may have gotten kind of eaten up as as the first few laps of the run kind of went on. But what it does, it kind of it just delays the inevitable. It really just delays them from falling back. Because if you take 4 tires, just like everybody else,
on the speedway,
as we have a caution out here with 17 left to go.
See, this would have played perfect into my strategy.
Exactly.
My strategy would have came out great. They could have took the 2 tires. Caution came out with at 6 laps of running on the track. Man, they could have had a big gain here.
Exactly.
And this would have been huge for 3 Wide Racing. They could have had the track position here, but instead they're still sitting back there in the back, so I'm very curious to see if they're going to take the strategy. They didn't put many laps on these tires. They're going to have to do something. The left sides don't wear as hard as the right. Something's going to have to happen here where these guys back here in the back that I just mentioned, we haven't seen them all race. The only people from 3 Wide we've seen tonight is the 48 and the 4. And they've got to do something off the leaders, because if you just play follow the leader all night, you're going to get the results we're getting now.
Yeah, so and touching on the left side, and how much they wear, when the 24 stream was still up, at least when he came to pit road for one of his green flag pit stops or whatever, his left side, I believe they're only at like about 50% or so, and that was like 18 laps into the run. They were almost out of fuel at that point, and the fact that they're only at 50%, they're halfway worn through a whole fuel cycle. That means 6 laps in, those bad ones are probably at around somewhere between 80 and 85. Meaning taking 2 wouldn't be that bad of an option. So yeah, and again, touching on your strategy, it would have played perfectly for him, because they may have not have fell off as far as they thought they would have, and then they could take 4 tires here, and then they would be putting themselves in a prime position. But now they're just on the same cycle as ENEA, And at that point, you're not doing anything. You're just at a stalemate. You're just doing the same thing that you've been doing the whole race. And I think that's the product of younger leagues like this is that they might not have the same thought or the same IQ as some of the more experienced leagues, to say, hey, 4 tires hasn't been working this whole race, and we might as well take 2 because we got nothing else left. Either way, we're probably gonna go home, so we might as well go down fighting and take 2 tires and at least give ourselves a better chance or put ourselves in a better chance than we would have just taking 4 tires.
Well, it looks like somebody listened to a little bit of strategy. I don't believe he pitted the 48 state out here. I don't know if he's banking that there's going to be another caution or not, but if the race plays out the way that they say it's going to play out, this could go green all the way, and he might be a sitting duck here.
Yeah, I believe we're going to come to green here with 13 or 14 laps to go. Not quite exactly sure. I know it's around 13 or 14. It might be a lap off or so. I'm not completely sure. But right around that mid-teens place was where we're going to be taking the green flag. But yeah, the 48 stays out. We'll see how that works for him. But yeah, at least someone, decided to listen to your strategy. And hey, maybe what happens here is say he gets loose and takes out most of ENEA here in the wreck. Shoot, that might be a strategy too at this point.
Well, that might be the only way this is going to come out the winner. And I know they're going to watch this race. And if anybody has any issues with what I'm saying up here in the booth, I'm calling it like I see it. But you can send all of your messages to BLM Trump 20. My inbox will be open for anybody. I will respond as quickly as possible. You're going to have to do something.
Yeah.
You're low in the points. The points have been pulled away since stage 2. We haven't seen much speed out of anybody tonight other than the ENEA guys. You got to do something. The 48 got a great restart there, but if memory serves me right, every time we've seen him in the top 4, top 5, he's slipped up coming into 1 or coming into 2. The 24 has just been one of the dominant cars tonight, and I just don't. Yeah, he's loose.
Yeah, he's already loose.
He's
already
2.
loose.
He's holding the 24 up now.
Hey,
I guess
shoot.
he might be pulling their strategy and hoping for a wreck.
Yeah, hoping for a wreck or something here.
As he hits the 11, he slides up.
Oh, man, this is not looking. They're almost 4 wide off turn 4 right here. 48 trying to do his best to hold up the pack, but ultimately just kind of slides up the racetrack, and he will fall into the midst of the field. So couldn't do too much. At the very least, he might have held him up enough to where his guys in the back could kind of latch on to the draft and try something. But right now, he's holding up his teammates at 95 and the 3 car here as the 24 of ENEA shotgun here is leading the field. Not sure how many laps we have to go right now. 13
coming
to
to
go.
12 to go
All right,
here.
so
We come out of coming to 4.
Right.
I'm just glad to see that they're going down swinging.
Exactly.
The race doesn't have to be over because you fell into a deficit at the end of stage 2. You can mix it up, try something different. It didn't work for the 48, obviously, because he didn't have enough guys. The guy starting to his outside was a 4-tire guy. The guy starting behind him was 4 tires. And Asbill, I totally agree with you. 4 tires is the way to go. But if you're having a crap race and you're not running up front, and your speed isn't there, you've got to throw a last-ditch effort here. You're coming to 12 to go here. What's the worst that's going to happen?
Yeah.
11 to go.
Yeah.
So you're coming to 11 to go. What's the worst that's going to happen? You hold up some guys. You get positions that you didn't deserve in the race. Guys who hasn't.
Oh, 11 car around in the field. Oh, no. Into the wall goes the 11. Back behind him. Big wreck. And bring it out. Oh, no. The 66 upside down. And that will probably bring up the caution as they're coming to 10 laps to go. Oh, man, that was...
Now let's see who plays some strategy.
Exactly. This is where you play the strategy. This is where you got to take 2 tires here, BLM. This is where you got to do it. You have 10 laps. You have 10 laps to go right now. You'll probably restart with about 8 laps to go, meaning that, this is probably going to be your last gas. So you might as well, again, go down swinging, go down with a fight here, and take 2 tires. And, again, at the very least, you stack up the field. And, hey, stacking up the field might shuffle those ENEA guys up the track, which opens the door for your guys in the back who may have taken 4. And then you're working with something now. Because then you got a bunch of guys up there on old tires, fresh tires. And then it creates more havoc for ENEA to try to get back to that bottom lane. So this is, I believe, this is where you take 2 tires. If you didn't take 2 tires before, I believe you have to do it now. If you're someone from 3 wide and you're sitting, somewhat near the top 5.
There's some guys staying out.
The 21 car
stays out.
The 21
maybe
car.
He didn't learn what his other guys did because nobody stayed out with him.
Oh
but
my
what's the
God.
worst that's going to happen? You're going to piss some people off. You haven't raced these guys up front all day. Who cares who you piss off? It's the last ditch of this round. You're race 19 of the opening round of the first round. You want to go to the second round. Who cares if you ruffle some feathers up? I know if I was racing, when I was racing at Homestead, if I was running 10th on back, I'm taking 2 tires every chance I get.
Exactly.
I know it might not be the smart move, but I'm going to try something. You have to try things that are going to either pay off, either not pay off, but you have to learn. And the fact that the 21's the only one to stay out.
Some guys took 2
Maybe
back
he
there.
did not pay attention.
Maybe
he did not pay attention to what happened to the 48 there at the beginning of that run.
So this is going to be interesting here because the 21 car stayed out, and right now the cars behind them, they're coming out pit road right now, the 95, the 3, the 4, the 24, I believe 22 as well. I believe they all took 2. Because they came out of pit road almost immediately, and some of the guys behind them were still sitting there. So I believe your top 5 or 6 is going to be on some form of old tires here. So it's going to be interesting here. And you got mostly 3 wide guys up here inside the top 5. You have the 4 car, you have the 21, you have the 3, you have the 95 sitting there, you have the 19 sitting there behind the I can't see who that is back there, but you have the 19 back there as well. You got guys up here. This is a prime chance right here for 3 wide to make something happen. And again, they're already down by a bunch of points, so if they end up wrecking and they get a penalty, shoot, it may not even matter in the end anyway, because they're either gonna lose just on points alone, or they're gonna lose trying to go for the win and they end up wrecking, getting penalties and all that stuff. So you might as well go down again swinging and going down at least trying to win the race rather than just sitting there content with where you're at. So oh man, this is gonna get dicey because you got basically essentially 1/3 of the pack here all in the front on old tires, and then you got guys back there on full fresh tires. So oh man, they're gonna be restarting here with I believe 7 laps to go.
I believe it would be 7 to go
here.
I
think they're coming here to 7 laps to go. I forgot to change the graphic on the screen, but it's all right. But here we go. So we're going to be coming here, 7 laps to go on the green flag. Yep, we got it from Bader. Thank you for that one. So pace car is off into the Geico restart zone. 21 is your leader, 24 on the high side. Lots of guys on old tires. Green flag in the air. 7 laps to go here at Kentucky. Oh boy, this is gonna get good.
4 cars shooting down below the 24 down here. This is the first time he's got a restart that was worth the crap, but he had to back off the back of the 24. The 40.
Oh, big wreck behind! Oh no, there they go! Big wreck behind the leaders, and they're gonna have to race it back at 11. 11 car involved again. Oh, 24 does him up the racetrack. Here it comes, shotgun to the inside and come off turn 4. LLMC Delicate shot the racetrack. The 22 sitting there, the 4 car sitting there. Here they come to the line. It's going to be 24, 21, 22, 4, and the 3 car. Oh, man.
I don't think that 21's happy at all, but I said it before the green flag drop. Who cares who you piss off? It's time to race. The last couple laps of this race is happening. They're going to restart this race with probably about 5 to go, maybe 4 to go. Who cares who you make mad? The 24's on 2 tires. The 21's on no tires. The 4 cars back there chomping at the bit. If the 24 and 21 make contact off the exit of 2 or the exit of 4, that 4 car and the 22 car are in a prime position to take this win or take the lead. You got the 3 car and the 95 back there. We haven't talked about these boys. We have no clue. The 19's back there behind them. They're finally showing up at the end of the race, and that's what I love about late race restarts. You don't know what they're going to do. This 24 can mess up the restart, and it can bottle up the whole field. But we're going to see. There's people ducking like they're going to come to pit road. The back half of the field is going to come in and take forward. Let's see if they can make up some positions.
Ooh, man, Asbill in the chat, he said get the ambulance, and that's definitely right, man. We've had a lot of hard hits tonight, a lot of cars upside down. It's been one crazy race, and it seemed, well, I shouldn't even say race, more, crazy stage 3. It was pretty calm for stages 1 and 2. We didn't have lots of action. I'm like, oh, it's probably gonna be a snoozer. But hey, at least now 3 wide. Shoot, maybe they got some guys watching the stream and they heard what we were saying, and they're like, all right, well, we might as well go down swinging and make it interesting for the viewers. So I believe right now they have 5 laps to go. They're probably going to restart with 3 to go, I believe. I think there's 5 to go right now, so we'll see though.
Asbill's calling out another one. He said we're going to get the ambulance again.
Yeah, the ambulance,
so we're going to see if he's right. Maybe the 24 and 21 make contact. And he says the 21's going to take the field out. So we're going to see the 24 knock the piss out of the 21 coming out of 2. So we're going to see if this happens. I would not be surprised to see some tippers flaring at the end of this race. But hell, I'm doing my job, but I'm going to have fun with it. And I hope that the 24 and 21 make a little bit of contact and rough each other up here.
Yeah.
I'm not condoning that for anybody watching that's in the officiating booth. But I'm telling you, if that was me, I'd be hot under the collar in that 21 car because that 24 showed no regret or no remorse of throwing him up the track to take the lead coming back to the start-finish line.
So this is going to be the last.
Just to clarify, the 24 did get a warning for that move.
All right, so the 24.
Let's see.
All right, so the 24 got a warning for that one, and I'm looking in the chat right now, and Bader says it's the last restart no matter what. So all bets are off. So chat, if you're guys, if you're watching the stream right now, go ahead and put your pick on who's going to win this race in the chat right now. This is really your last chance. All bets are off.
I think the pace car is going to win it.
Oh, man.
At stage 3, that pace car has been out in front of this field a lot, so don't be surprised if the pace car comes out. He's been leading a lot of laps here in stage 3. I think my lap counter is correct. He's led the most in stage 3 so far.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Who knows?
So here we go. I believe they're coming to 3 laps to go. If Boehner could put some in the chat.
I appreciate the vote of confidence, Booth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I believe we're coming to 3 laps to go here.
The pace car.
Yep, 3 to go from
getting
Boehner.
the heck out of the way here.
Thank you. Yep, all right.
I would too.
Thank you, Boehner, for that one.
You're about to get crazy.
So here they come into the restart zone. The 24, your leader, 21 on the outside, 22 in third, and the 4 car in fourth. That's your front row. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. We're racing here, Kentucky. 3 laps to go. No more cautions. This is it. There we go, down to the wire. 24 gets out to a big jump as they come into turns 1 and 2. 21 sitting behind him, 22 in third. 4 cars sitting behind him. If you wreck, you wreck. Sorry, but you're going to have to put that thing in the hauler. Here they come off turn 2. 21 on the low side, 22 on the high side. That 24 car, he's kind of scooting away a tad bit. We got cars going 3 wide in the back. Here they come off turn 4 with 2 laps to go.
Yeah, what the 24 wants to see right now is them going 2 and 3 wide as the 4 car goes underneath the 21 and the 22.
They're blocking that 22 car. They're blocking that 22. It's going to get dicey. It's coming to turn 1. Oh, no contact.
Over the choice. Here comes the 48 coming up there. Right now, you're currently holding the number 1 position for ENEA, and the next 4 cars behind you are all 3 wide racing. This is what they needed.
This is what they needed.
They needed to get up here and do it. The 24's pulling away. 4 cars not going to have a chance to come get him unless he gets a big run off of 4, a big run off of 2. The 48's putting pressure down the back of him.
Here they come. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go. Oh, the wrecking of the lane. Oh, 22 hard in the wall. Big wreck behind. Oh, he's upside down. Oh, no. Oh, man. Here they come. Turns 1 and 2. Here they come. Out of turn 2, the 21 sitting there in 5th. Here we go, into turn 3 and 4. It's honestly, 3 wide is doing a heck of a job right now, putting themselves inside the top 10, wrecking havoc. Here they come off of turn 4. The 24 is going to get the win here for ENEA, but it's going to be close here in the back of the pack, as we got multiple guys come across the line.
Control, the 48 car had a restart violation. That is a crushing blow for the 48 car as he placed in third. He took out the 22. He took out the 22 of ENEA. He took out the owner of their league with the lag spike. That is not good. He took 3rd place away, but that is going to shake up the field at the end of this race. He's going to drop to the tail end of the field, and everybody's going to move up. The points are going to flip crazily here.
The points are going to change.
Just to clarify, the 48 was issued a penalty, and he did not yield. So.
Okay, so the
48 restart violation. He is going to drop to the back of this field here. His 3rd place finish is going to be nulled no matter what. So the people he took out there on that last restart and the people he took out with his lag are not going to be happy with him, and I expect a good bit of tempers to flare and some videos to be sent. He was issued a warning, did not yield down pit road. It was too late. That is not a smart move on his part, but my gosh, what an ending.
Yeah, so what a finish to this race. That was one heck of a finish. Oh my golly, there were cars upside down, front, left, sideways, everybody wrecking as we, so we're going to start getting the interviews here. So
they made me cuss. Sorry, I cussed on your screen.
No, you're good. Hey, you're good, man. Hey, you're all right, man. I heard it too. I was laughing back here. So as we get these guys in the broadcasting booth for interviews, we will take a short break, just a tad bit of a break. We'll be back for interviews in just a short moment. So do not go away. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the end of this race. A wild one, to say the least. It was pretty mellow for stages 1 and 2, but stage 3 was definitely one to remember. As we are now in the post-race interviews here, we'll start off with ENEA Codman, the driver of the. I'm looking on the roster here. Oh yeah, the 22, the Double Deuce, the league owner. Conrad, tell us, how your race went and your guys' strategy throughout the whole race, and how you were able to kind of compete and stay up in the front for most of this one.
Yeah, for sure. My squad did a pretty good job the first two stages, working together, making sure we weren't running too much side by side. Just to slow us up and let the other guys catch us. For the most part, I thought tonight went really well. There were some issues on track, but it's gonna happen. So.
Yeah, can you talk to me about what happened there on that last lap, coming through the white flag, and I saw you kind of got put in the wall. We couldn't exactly see what happened up in the booth, but I just happened to look back and I saw your car flipping upside down.
Honestly, man, your guess is as good as mine. It happened so quick. I don't know what I was in, maybe like battling for fifth or so there at the very end, and all of a sudden there's a car in my windshield. So I don't know. Again, your guess is as good as mine on that one. I went for a ride. Probably have a concussion after that, but not sure.
All right, man. Well, congrats on you guys. I think you guys may have had the league win, but we'll have to wait for the results and all the penalties and all that stuff to get sorted out. But once again,
absolutely,
yeah, good race from you, and we'll move on here. BLM, you can go ahead and get the next guy on the list.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the winner of the race, ENEA Shotgun. What's up, man?
Oh, it's good. How about yourself?
Man, that was one heck of a finish. It's kind of a snooze fest in the first two stages, but you guys really did a good job in the first two of pulling away at a points lead. Kind of talk to me about that last restart. You had the 21 to your outside. I know you got a warning coming to the caution flag. You roughed up the 21 just a tad bit to get under him. What was going through your mind at that moment of knowing that you had to take the lead, or knowing that you couldn't start in second on the outside?
Well, I mean, to be honest. I mean, I'm going to go out and put it out there. I am so sorry to the 21, but I mean, I hate to say it, but he kind of ran me out of room. But hey, I mean, it happens. It's a racing deal. But I mean, it was definitely unintentional. I mean, I didn't mean to do it, but I mean, it kind of just happened. I knew I had to get to the lead though, because if I didn't control that last restart, there was going to be a very low chance of having a shot at it, even on just 2 tires. So I had to get everything I could on the final restart.
Yeah, last question here. What was going through your head about taking 2 tires, and how did the car feel on 2 tires for the people watching?
Oh, it felt great. I mean, the setup that I had, it felt like we were running on 4. I mean, it was really, really good. And throw a little bit of left front pressure in it. Awesome.
Awesome job. Well, congratulations on the win tonight. Good
Appreciate
luck. Seem to be in the next round.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for that one. Now we move on here down the list, down to NSM Smack 41, the league owner of 3 Wide. And hey, you got me, man? NSM?
Yeah, man. I mean, thank you guys for doing what you do, and thank everybody that came out for this race and stuff. They're doing big things and doing great things. I'm proud of my guys the way they raced, and I'm proud of the other team how they raced. We had a lot of green flag action tonight, and that was pretty impressive for having 20 guys that never raced together before.
Yeah, so as the owner of your league or whatever, obviously I was looking at your guys' bio and all that stuff, and I saw that you guys do run custom setups in your league. So the main question I had for you is, was there kind of a learning curve for you guys to get used to presets, or did you guys feel pretty comfortable going into this one about having to run presets?
Oh, we knew this was going to be a second half race,
Okay.
so we kept working on our cars all week long, with the pressures and the setups and all that stuff, So, but we had to get them dialed in. We finally got them dialed in, that last stage there, so
Yeah.
that was good.
Yeah, I noticed you guys. Yeah, the first stage and a half or so, you guys looked a little out of sorts. You guys were kind of falling back there, but as the race went on, you guys seemed to definitely get stronger. And obviously, you guys showed it there at the end, causing some havoc. So good job from you guys on your half to really get things going and able to get that strategy down and be able to give the fans and all of us a good finish there at the end as we await the points. But once again, congrats, and obviously we'll have to wait and see how these points play out here.
Oh yeah, I mean they had a commanding lead after the first couple stages, so but good luck guys, and may the best team win.
I do want to follow up on a question here to NSM Smack. What was the kind of a strategy played, and why didn't you guys try to take 2 tires somewhere in the race to get that track position to kind of hold the ENEA guys back? We watched in stage 1 and 2 how they got in a train and they was able to stay up front and block the track. Why didn't you guys try to make that change and go up there and take 2 as well?
Like I said, we were still working on our setups and stuff like that, so we didn't have. It was it was a team effort. We tried to stay together as a team instead of sending some loan sharks and stuff just in case.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you for coming out tonight. So,
Yeah, all right.
let's see who's next on the list.
TRT, so I think he's the next one for ENEA. So you can go ahead and take that one again, BLM.
All right. Well, TRT, this is BLM Trump. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, man. Well, was a very good race between you and the 24 up there up front. You led a couple laps. I was listening to Shotgun Stream, and I heard you guys were moving the cars around and who was faster at what time. Kind of talked me through the strategy you guys played in the first 2 stages to keep y'all's cars in the top 5.
Yeah, well, definitely our whole team did a phenomenal job tonight. Our whole strategy going into the race was just not really battle, just get out in the clean air, because definitely clean air had it. And if we kept keeping switching spots as the car got faster, we definitely going to pull away. So kind of just saw whose cars were working better in different spots, and kind of how we got up front in the first 2 stages. And that definitely at the end we knew they were going to 3 wide race was definitely going to figure out something, because we knew they were on customs. So definitely a good job by both teams.
All right, man. Well, a good racing tonight, and we appreciate it greatly. You have a good rest of your night, and hopefully we'll see you in stage 2.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, no problem. All right, moving on here. Now we got the 48 Chevy Camaro of Turner XGA. Do you have a copy for me, Turner?
Yep, copy.
All right, so then you it took a little bit, but you were able to kind of get up there as well as the race kind of went on. And there are some times where, or I guess there was one time where you decided to stay out. Was that a personal move on your part, or was that a call from NSM to tell you, hey, stay out, see if you can maybe kind of slow up the field a bit and let us kind of catch a draft and maybe cause some havoc up there?
Well, honestly, it was just at that point you're trying to get all the points you can. We knew we were down after qualifying and after stage 1 and 2 there, so we had to make something happen. So didn't want to get too aggressive, but this deal with this playoff or bracket style format, it's all or nothing out here. I mean, if you lose, you're going home, so you got to go get it, and you can't show up next week if you lose. So,
Yeah.
we were just trying to make something happen, and I was out here having fun. I mean, I appreciate Smack inviting me. Three Wide Racing is a great racing league. Obviously, custom setups, like you guys have said, and I run custom setups all the time, so it was definitely. Took me a while to get the car dialed in. I was way off at the beginning, way too loose there. So, I was first lap I ran on a default at Kentucky on Heat 5 was during qualifying. So, it took me a while to get ready and rolling there. So, but we got it figured out by the end. And on that last restart, I felt like guys were slowing up a lot coming to the restart box. And, we were told keep it at 65, but back there in the pack, it's just you're getting down under 45,
Exactly.
and you're going to tear the front end of your car off every time.
Exactly,
so kind of made a move on the restart. I don't know how they'll see that, but hey, man, it's about having fun, and I had a good time. So appreciate you guys broadcasting this and doing a great job. So.
Yeah, I believe looking in the chat, we had race control in there. They were telling us that they did. Unfortunately, have to give you a restart violation there, which does unfortunately put you at the end of the field. So that's definitely a tough break. But yeah, I was very impressed with how you were able to kind of get your car dialed in there. Really, all of you guys were able to get your car dialed in and really make them charge up there in the front. But you were definitely very fast there at the end. Nonetheless, of what happened on that last restart there. But we appreciate you coming out and putting on a good show for all of us.
Yeah, man, it was fun. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, no problem. All right, moving on here to Uville Desert. I believe I'm saying that right, but BLM, you can go ahead and get this last interview in right here.
Yeah, Unveiled Desert, how you doing, man? So, as we saw tonight, a lot of people saw as watching the broadcast, you were the standard bearer tonight of your league. What was the difference between what you were running and what the other cars in your league were doing?
We're kind of working off of the same thing. Some of them just had trouble getting started off the get-go and just getting track position throughout the race and all that good stuff. And it just took a minute to get the setups pretty much dialed in to where you wanted it, getting the right momentum and whatnot. I just kind of wish the final stage would have played out on the green. Might end up a little different.
Yeah, I was watching the race. I was trying to do commentary, but I was also trying to think of pit strategy that could get you guys up front. And I kept saying, late race restarts, you could try to take 2 tires, you could try to get the track position. And I saw the 21 take 2, the 48 took 2. A couple guys got up there and led the race a little bit on 2 tires. What played through your mind about maybe taking 2? Or maybe trying to get up there and lead the race and see if you could hold those guys off. We knew you had a fast enough car to take the lead because you had taken it on 4 tires during the race at the beginning of stage 3. So, what played through your mind about track position versus tires?
Yeah, it was so late in the race. It was pretty much, I guess it was the second caution before the last. I was debating on taking 4 there, and I probably should have. And that might have given me a little better outcome towards the end, but I was pretty much set on taking 2 and just riding it out at the front and see what happened, pretty much.
Yeah, well, great finish tonight, and we appreciate you guys for coming out. We don't have the official results yet, but unofficially, we do believe that ENEA is going to move to the next round. So we appreciate everything y'all did to come out, and good luck with your league moving forward.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. You're welcome.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
One question I have for you, Desert, is that you seem to be the one guy that was able to keep up with the ENEA guys for really the whole race. It seemed like you were able to get your car kind of tuned in early. Have you raced presets before in the past, or was that just kind of just luck of the draw and you happened to find something good in pit road and you were able to kind of just ride that out for the whole race?
Nah, I've actually got some pretty decent experience on running presets and whatnot.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's probably what I thought. Yeah, because you were looking good up there. But yeah, once again, thank you for coming out. You put on a very good show for all of us here.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
So last thing before we get off here, I guess I'll have both of the league owners, both ENEA Kanban and NSM Smack, both. If you guys want to give out your social media, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, if you guys want people to come and potentially apply for your guys' league, you guys can go ahead and drop those right now for the fans before we go off the air here.
Yeah, for sure. As far as ENEA, you can definitely find us on Facebook. We're not on the other social media sites yet just because we're still pretty new. But yeah, next year we're going to make some changes, do different series. So, here in about 4 or 5 weeks, I'd say we're going to be putting in some hard tryouts, recruiting people. So, kind of look out for our name.
All right, thank you for that one. And moving on to NSM Smack, if you guys have any social media you want to put out there, go ahead and drop it right now.
Yeah, I mean, we have Facebook. It's 3wideracing.com. That's about it. But good luck, guys. If you guys move on, good luck through the tournament. And if anybody, wins, I hope it's you guys because you guys knocked us out.
Yeah, NSM, great race, man.
Hey, great race, guys.
So that is it. That's all we have for now. Sadly, we do not have the points right now. Hopefully, we can get those either by the end of the night or by tomorrow. So we will see when how these penalties are assessed and all that stuff. But nonetheless, this is the end of this broadcast. I thank both teams, both the ENEA and both the 3-Wide Racing League, for coming out today and putting on a very good show for all of us. Make sure, if you guys are watching now, we do have one more race tomorrow night. It's the Full Throttle Thursday night racing versus the Hybrid League, and that is going to be tomorrow at Texas at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. That's tomorrow. Is race 21, the last race of the first round. So after that, we'll be moving on to round 2. But for everybody here, for Alpha York, Boehner, shout out to you for doing a heck of a job giving us the updates throughout the race. And Balaam Trump, obviously my co-commentator, you did a heck of a job up here. We had always have a fun time in the booth. Frey Dog as well. Dohar's not here, but he was doing a very good job being our pace car and doing the points. But again, for the cast and crew, hope you guys all have a good night, and we will see you guys on the next broadcast.